Hello everyone, MP Hater here, and welcome back to my Newcomer's Guide for Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. This is part 24. So in the last episode we finished off the game, and I have progressed into New Game Plus, which I did wrap out with in the last episode, but I have since made it to basically through everything, minus the decision to side with Owl. So I'm going to talk about real quick what we want to make sure that we have in prep for the last two fights that we've got, because this will be the last episode. So I have purchased all of the prosthetic tool upgrades that I could, other than the Lazulite Axe and Lazulite Sacred Flame. And the reasoning for that is simply because you don't get enough of the Lazulite that's required in order to upgrade all of the weapons in a single playthrough. So, in fact, you only get Lazulite if you don't pick the Shura ending, which is the ending that we're going to be doing in this episode. So I only have two of these four final upgrades done at this point, but the Lazulite Saibumaru is going to be the one that I would recommend that you have. Now here, this mentions Adamantite Scrap and Fulminated Mercury. Those two items are kind of hard to come by, but I'm going to show you real quick where you can farm them if you want to be able to do what I'm going to do in this episode. So first things first, make sure you have progressed to the Shura ending, basically where you've done everything. If you've completed 3 of the 4 bosses of the game, it will be evening, which is what time it is right now in this game. And then we want to travel over to Senpu Temple, the Bell Demon's Temple. And we're going to go ahead and activate the Bell Demon's Temple. So when you ring the bell, this will make the game harder. However, it's temporary. You can choose when you want to get rid of the Bell Demon. Once you get rid of the Bell Demon, everything goes back to normal. All you have to do is use the item. So this is going to give us better item drops. In addition, it would not be a bad idea under the Temple Arts to have Virtuous Deed, as well as Most Virtuous Deed. I don't currently have Most Virtuous Deed, but that would increase the likelihood of you getting the drops, so you won't have to farm for as long. Beyond that, though, we're going to want to head to the Sunken Valley, to the Undershrine Valley. And the enemies that you want to focus on for Fulminated Mercury are going to be these guys. So we'll go ahead and equip a Mibu Possession Balloon, and this will increase our chances even better for getting good drops. Blood Smoke Ninjutsu to make this easier from stealth. Which I screwed that up. Oh well. Anyway, you can go all the way that way, kill the one that's there, and then you can also go all the way this way, and basically just continue all from here all the way up to the gun fort, basically where you fought the long-armed giraffe enemy. So go ahead and do that, and then you can also get the other item at the main hall location. So in this case, we'll also need to have, I would recommend Gashin Spiritfall. And these guys, these are Spear Adepts. The Spear Adepts have a decent chance of dropping them as well. There are 3 of them right out here. And we did just get 1 Adamantite Scrap, so That's one of the items that we're looking for. So that's going to be kind of the farming method if you want to go that route. Otherwise, once you're done, make sure to use the Bell Demon. And that's going to end up dispelling the burden and making the game easier again. So we're going to go ahead and travel over to Ashina Castle, the dojo. So let's talk about what we're going to do for this. This fight is broken up into 3 phases. The first phase is Emma. The last 2 phases are Isshin. And they are different. It's a different Isshin fight than you've had before. This one is against an old Isshin, so things are a little bit different. I'm going to recommend Floating Passage. You get this from the Carp near the Hirata Estate, so you can buy it from him using Carp scales. So we've had that pretty much ever since the beginning of the game. We're also going to go ahead and equip the Lazulite Sabimaru. This version of Sabimaru creates a poisonous mist every time we swing our sword, so that's going to be really effective to give Isshin, who we're going to use it on, poison. So I'm going to equip that. And then I'm also going to go ahead and equip Suzaku's Lotus Umbrella, though we're only going to use this for the second phase of Isshin, which is the last phase of this fight. As far as the items that we're going to want to have, I'm going to recommend Akko's Sugar. We're going to be burning through Spirit Emblems, so I'm going to recommend Akko's Sugar rather than Spirit Fall for this. And then it would not be a bad idea for you to have Genzaemon's Jinza's Jizo statue. This is a reusable version of a normal Jizo statue, so this allows you to restore a node of resurrective power, so you'll be able to resurrect again if you happen to die. So this one is reusable. Again, normal statues are rare to find, at least in a first playthrough, though most of the prayer beads in the game are replaced by bundled Jizo statues, so you'll probably have around 20 whenever you make it to where I am in the game on your New Game Plus playthrough. Otherwise, that's going to be really the main recommendations here. So we're going to go ahead and kill this guy. So go ahead and talk to Owl, and this time around we are going to obey the Iron Code.
Yes,
And that is going to start us against the fight against Emma. So a couple things about her. You can cheese this fight. Nearly every one of her attacks, you can actually put your joystick at 11 o'clock and then press B, and you'll pretty much dodge everything that she's got. This is in the latest patch 106, by the way, so I've seen some comments about people saying this isn't still possible, but it most definitely is. It's just timing. Your timing needs to be very, very tight for this, but it is one of the easiest ways to bait this enemy. Otherwise, though, we're going to go ahead and let her hit us to see what she's got. So that you can jump on her head with. Again, jump on her head for that if you can. So that is a grab attack, and she'll follow it up with a sword strike if you don't roll away after you're put on the ground. It'll do massive damage, probably close to 3/4 of your health. That other paralysis attack she just did is a thrust. You can counter Makiri counter that. Again, stay away from that grab attack. So the way that this attack works is she will follow it up with an Ashina cross, which she obviously learned from Isshin. Be aware though that if you deflect that attack, you basically will be able to avoid being turned around. But if you are hit by it and you don't deflect it, you will end up being turned around. It will forcibly remove the lock-on on her, so you want to turn around very quickly in order to deal with her. Otherwise, let's go ahead and kill her. So we're gonna go ahead and hit her a couple of times. There's our Ashina cross. We can punish that with floating passage. So again, be careful. She can get your posture meter up a lot faster than it seems. Again, lock onto her fast. Oh, she knocked me down. And she's done. So once you beat her, that will immediately progress us into the fight against Isshin, who identifies you as Shura.
Sekiro. You were a most unkind and inauspicious man. But for some reason I could not bring myself to hate you. It seems I must cut you down before you fall to Shura.
So the other version was Isshin in his prime. This version is not Isshin in his prime, obviously. And the other version, Isshin was forced. So this guy is still pretty dangerous. In addition, I want to show you something. If you see, did you see that? He ended up dodging our first attack. You generally want him to come to you. And that is the same body slam that... Yeah, that hurts. Same body slam that Emma has. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and try to give him poison. There we go. We want to bait him into this combo. Alright, so you want to use the umbrella and then respond like that after he's done with it. So he is a lot more dangerous now, but we want to poison him again. So he's going to be able to hit you with fire now. Otherwise, very similar fight. We're gonna poison him again. Well, we may not have to. Okay, he's dead.
Sekiro, it was not to be.
And that is going to finish out the final boss of the Shura playthrough. We're going to get one mind, which is that ability that he has where he hits you once and then it sprouts a whole bunch of hits. And then he hits you again if you press right bumper afterwards. So you now have that ability too in this fight, or following this fight. So that's going to be basically what you want to do. Again, try to poison him if you can. That'll enable you to get chip damage. Use the Akko Sugar to try to improve your chances of dealing with him. Pick good times to heal. Allow him to come to you, especially in his first phase, because he will end up, again, dodging your first attack and then following up with a very devastating swing.
I would expect no less from my home.
Otherwise, try to catch his deflections. There's not really any major cheese that works with him. But otherwise, that's going to wrap it out for all the Sekiro content. So I'm going to let the ending play because I never did do a Shura playthrough. At least not a recorded one anyway. Well, Dad, you're the one who pushed me to this. It's your fault. So not only are we Shura, but we are a resurrecting Shura. You can see the flames of hatred beginning to burn in his arm.
No! You're... You can't be Shura!
Soldiers and townfolk alike died by the thousands. Very few survived. Ashina became the setting for the most tragic massacre of the Sengoku era. And for a long time after, it was said a demon lurked the land.
And that is the end. Go ahead and start playthrough number 3 now.
Some 20 years.
We're gonna head to the final, or through this next area, just so we can go see what we got for our troubles once we get to our first idol. So again, the game gets progressively harder each time you do a new game plus. But so do the rewards, as far as getting levels, getting the ability to buy abilities.
Loyal work to you. No, right there's Lord. I want you seen. I will.
No.
So we'll keep the game as easy as it can be for now. Pop back up here for another pellet. So again, like before, all the enemies get a boost in damage, boost in health. Though these kinds of enemies are not that big of a deal to deal with. But everything's a little harder this time. And again, it becomes most noticeable with the bosses. Almost completely missed that item.
You failed. Get Sekiro, Ashina.
I'm so used to not catching that attack. And Genichiro hitless. That's good. So we now have the Shura path completed. And at this point, basically what you've got left to do is going to be to run through the reflections of strength, try to get good at all the bosses, and then we have now the 3 gauntlets to complete. So in my last playthrough, I did end up completing the inner Genichiro version. I have not gone through, of course, the Shura playthrough for the Gauntlet of Strength. We just completed that, obviously. And then we also have the Severance version of it as well. So you'll get new abilities for each one of these as well. So, again, if you remember, we ended up getting One Mind. So that's what we got from the boss that we just finished. And then I also ended up getting Sakura Dance by killing Inner Genichiro. Which, this works really well to kind of bake it into use of your prosthetics. So again, nice to start using more prosthetics, but at this point, that's going to wrap up, I think, the final episode for Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. So, hope you found this walkthrough beneficial, everybody. Thanks again for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and, as always, I'll see you in the next one. Later.